Hello students, welcome to all in plus one science stream. Before delivering the chemistry lecture, I would like to advise you don't get panic with the subjects of this science stream. Understand the topic with positive spirit. The condition to pursue with the stream is only hard work. So students, make a proper timetable and practice the delivered topics again and again. So well students, in chemistry you have total 14 chapters which are further classified as organic, inorganic and physical chemistry. Before starting with your first chapter, which is some basic concept of chemistry, it can be categorized as physical chemistry. I would like to discuss the blueprint of chemistry with you. Your theory part is of 70 marks and your practical part is of 30 marks. So total is of 100 marks. Now the blueprint for 70 marks is number of questions carrying 1 mark will be 20 and number of questions carrying 2 marks will be 7. Number of questions carrying 3 marks will also be 7 and number of questions carrying 5 marks is 3. So this is of total 70 marks. So students, let's start with your chapter first, that is some basic concepts of chemistry. If you have to define chemistry, how will you define it? Different students will give different definitions for it. One of the definition is we can define it as a branch of science which deals with study of composition, structure and properties of matter and the changes which the matter undergoes under different conditions and the laws which governs these changes. This is one of the definition of the chemistry. Well students, chemistry plays a very important role in our daily life. It has helped us to meet all our requirements for a better life. There are various applications of the chemistry which I would like to discuss with you. First application is in the supply of food. It has provided chemical fertilizers such as urea, sodium nitrate, ammonium sulfate, etc., which are responsible for increasing the yield of crops and fruits. It has also given us effective insecticides and pesticides which protect the crops from insect and harmful bacteria. Many preservatives helps to preserve the food products for longer periods. This chemistry has also given the methods to test the presence of adulterants, thereby ensuring the supply of pure foodstuff. A second application is its contribution to better health and sanitation. This chemistry has provided mankind with large number of life-saving drugs. For example, cisplatin, it is used in the treatment of cancer. Many analgesics, they are known as painkillers, antibiotics. These help to curb infection and cure the diseases like typhoid and tuberculosis. Tranquilizers, it help to reduce the tension. Disinfectants, which are used to kill the microorganism present in drains, toilets, floors, etc. Antiseptics, which are used to stop the infection of the wounds. Many synthetic vitamins and tonics, they have contributed significantly towards better health. Now, it has very important role in saving the environment. Students, the refrigerants, you know that CFCs, which are responsible for destroying the ozone layer, it has been replaced by eco-friendly chemicals. This chemistry has also enhances our comforts, pleasures and luxuries. Many synthetic fibers, they are more comfortable, durable and attractive. It is the contribution of chemistry. Many building materials, by supplying steel and cement, chemistry has helped in the construction of safer homes and multi-storied buildings. Chemistry has made our homes more comfortable by supplying a large number of articles of domestic use such as detergents, paper, glass, paints, varnishes, cooking gas, etc. Cinema, one of the common source of entertainment, and also video cameras as well as simple cameras make the use of films which are made of a chemical celluloid and coated with suitable chemicals. It has a great contribution in transport and communication. This chemistry has given high quality fuels, petrol, diesel, CNG, LPGs, etc. In view of decreasing coal and petroleum resources, the world will soon be facing the energy crisis. Chemistry has come to the rescue by providing an alternate source of energy, which is nuclear energy. Chemistry, it has also played an important and useful role towards the development and growth of number of industries like glass industries, cement industry, paper, textile industries, pharmaceuticals, etc. Chemistry, it has also increased the striking power of man in war times. It is responsible for the discovery of highly explosive substances such as TNT, dynamite, etc. So students, in the nutshell, we can say that chemistry can be regarded as greatest benefactor of humanity. Yet it can prove to be a blessing or a curse for humanity. It depends upon the uses to which it is put and how a relative balance is maintained between benefits and problems caused by progress in chemistry. Students, everything that is around us and the presence of which can be felt with the help of any of our five senses is called matter. Now you are well aware with the term matter, which is defined as anything that occupies space and has weight and the presence of which can be felt by any one or more of our five senses. Now students, come to the classification of matter. Matter can be classified physically as well as chemically. Physical classification, as you have learnt in the lower classes, it can be classified as solid, liquids and gases. Solid is the substance which has definite shape, definite volume, example sugar, and the substance is said to be liquid if it has definite volume but not definite shape. It takes the shape of the vessel in which it is being kept. Example water, milk. And the substance is said to be gaseous if it has neither definite shape nor definite volume. This is because they fill up the whole vessel in which they are put. Example, hydrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, air, etc. Now students, chemically, this matter can be classified as pure substance and mixture. Now what is pure substance? In chemistry, a material containing only one substance is called pure substance. This pure substance is further classified into elements and compounds. Now come to the mixture. Mixture can be defined as a materials containing more than one substances and are not pure. So now we know that pure substance, we have classified it in two ways, that is elements and compounds. Now what is element? You can define the element as a pure substance that contains only one kind of particles, and these particles may be either atoms or molecules. Now you have elements can be further classified as metals, non-metals and metalloids. And come to the now compounds. Compounds can be defined as a pure substance which contain more than one kind of elements or atoms. These compounds are further classified as organic compounds and inorganic compounds. Organic compounds are the compounds containing carbon and some additional elements like hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, etc. And inorganic compounds are the compounds containing any two or more elements out of 118 elements which are till known today. Now, there is mixture. This was the chemical classification. This mixture can be further classified as homogeneous and heterogeneous. A mixture is said to be homogeneous if its composition is uniform throughout. For example, air is a homogeneous mixture of number of gases. And a mixture is said to be heterogeneous if its composition is not uniform throughout. For example, smoke, which is a mixture of carbon particles and air, oil in water, copper sulfate and sand, etc. So, this is the classification of matter. Okay students, now you are aware with the term compound and mixture. Now you know that both compound and mixture contain two or more than two elements which combined together. Now how they differ from each other? So there are certain points of differences between compounds and mixture. What is the major difference? In compound, the constituents are always present in a fixed ratio by mass. For example, water you get from anywhere. The ratio is always 1:8 by mass. But in mixture, the constituents of a mixture may be present in any ratio. For example, air is a mixture. As we move up to the altitudes, the concentration of the gases, it gets changed. Now come to the second difference. Compounds, they are always homogeneous in nature, but mixtures may or may not be homogeneous in nature. The properties of the compound is entirely different from those of its constituent. For example, water, which is made from hydrogen and oxygen. Now water, it is fire extinguisher, but hydrogen, it is a combustible substance, and oxygen, it is a supporter of combustion. So what you have concluded? The properties of compound, that is water, it is totally different from its constituent, that is hydrogen and oxygen. But in mixture, the properties are midway between those of its constituents. In compounds, the components can't be easily separated by simple means. You have to apply some chemical means for the separation of the constituents of a compound. But in mixture, the constituents can be easily separated by any simple mechanical means. Whenever the compound is formed, it is always accompanied by absorption or evolution of heat. But during the formation of mixture, no heat, light or electrical energy is absorbed or evolved. As already explained, an element is a pure substance that contains only one kind of particles, which may be atoms or molecules. So students, we can define an atom, a smallest particle of an element which may or may not be capable of independent existence. But a molecule, it is the smallest particle of an element or a compound which can exist freely. That is the main difference between atom and molecules. Now, the molecules may be classified into two categories. Molecules of element, for example, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, as they are made up of only one kind of atoms. Second categorization is molecules of compounds. For example, hydrogen chloride HCl, water, carbon dioxide, as they are made up of atoms of different elements, hence are called heteronuclear molecules. Well students, now come to the topic laws of chemical combination. One of the most important aspects of the subject of chemistry is the study of chemical reactions. These chemical reactions takes place according to certain laws, which are known as laws of chemical combination. Students, the different laws of chemical combination which are in your syllabus, is first is law of conservation of mass, then law of constant composition, then law of multiple proportion, and then law of combining volumes. So come to the first law, that is law of conservation of mass. This law was studied by French chemist Anthony Lavoisier. It can be stated as in all physical and chemical changes, the total mass of the reactant is equal to that of the products. Thus, according to this law, there is no increase or decrease in the total mass of the matter during chemical or a physical change. In other words, matter can neither be created nor be destroyed. Hence, this law is also called law of indestructibility of matter. Students, to understand this law of conservation of mass, I have taken one problem in which there is a reaction in which 5.3 gram of sodium carbonate reacted with 6 gram of ethanoic acid. The products were 2.2 gram of carbon dioxide, zero point 0.9 gram of water, and 8.2 gram of sodium ethanoate. This is not ethanoic, but it is ethanoate. Now, you have to show that these observations are in agreement with law of conservation of mass. So students, in this numerical, there are two reactants which are reacted together and resulting into the formation of three products. Now, the reactants are sodium carbonate Na2CO3 plus ethanoic acid CH3COOH formed sodium ethanoate CH3COONA, water H2O, and carbon dioxide CO2. Now, in this numerical, you are being provided with the weight of reactants as well as weight of products. Now, if we added the summation of the reactants, we got the result 11.3 gram. So, total mass of the reactant comes out to be 11.3 gram. And when we added the summation of the products in grams, then we also again get 11.3 gram. So it is clear from it that total mass of the reactant is equal to the total mass of the product. So this reaction is according to law of conservation of mass. Now students, come to the second law, that is law of constant composition. It is also known as law of definite proportion. This law was discovered by French chemist Gilles Proust. Now it can be stated as a chemical compound is always found to be made up of the same elements combined together in same fixed ratio by mass. Students, we can understand this law of constant composition by taking the example of pure water. We can get pure water from whatever the source, that is either from well, river, lake or sea. It is always made up of only hydrogen and oxygen elements which combine together in a fixed ratio, that is 1:8 by mass. Take another example. We can get a sample of carbon dioxide by various methods, either by heating limestone or by burning coal in air or by heating sodium bicarbonate. In each case, it is found that carbon dioxide is made up of same elements, that is carbon and oxygen, which combine together in fixed ratio 12:32 or 3:8 by mass. Now students, let's understand this law, that is law of constant composition, by taking the problem, which is 6.488 gram of lead combined directly with 1.002 gram of oxygen to form lead peroxide PbO2. Lead peroxide is also produced by heating lead nitrate, and it was found that percentage of oxygen present in lead peroxide is 13.38%. Now you have to use this data to illustrate the law of constant. Students, in this numerical, you are provided with the percentage of oxygen in PbO2 lead peroxide, which is 13.38%. Now, so we are clear with the percentage of oxygen in second experiment. Now we have to calculate the percentage of oxygen in the first experiment. So first we will take the mass of peroxide formed, which is a combination of mass of lead and mass of oxygen, which comes out to be 7.490 gram. Now students, 7.490 gram of lead peroxide contains 1.002 gram of oxygen. So 100 gram of lead peroxide will contain the oxygen 13.38 gram, that is 13.38%. Since the percentage composition of oxygen in both the samples of lead peroxide is identical, so the above data illustrate the law of constant composition. So students, today we have discussed up to two laws. Students, you may or may not have chemistry books, so I will send you the video clips in terms of notes also. You have to go through it very carefully. For further query, you can contact through WhatsApp or through personal contact. Thank you.